conjugations in Latin. So just like we have declensions for nouns, we have 5 declensions for nouns in Latin. For verbs, we have 4 conjugations. So there's the first conjugation, second conjugation, third conjugation, and fourth conjugation. And the reason we learn these conjugations, we learn a model verb for each conjugation, is because once you learn the rules for that one model verb, it will apply to all the other verbs. So today we're going to talk about the 4 conjugations, and then we're going to conjugate them into 6 tenses. We're going to do the past imperfect, present, and future. And we're going to do the perfect system, which is the past perfect, pluperfect, and future perfect. So, a first conjugation verb that we use as our model verb is laudo, laudare, laudavi, laudatus. Can you see that? And what tells us that it's part of the first conjugation is this are ending, this long a. Okay, this tells us it's a first conjugation verb. Now from this first principal part, we're able to get the past imperfect, the present tense, and the future tense. This first principal part gives us our stem, L-A-U-D. So you just drop that O, and that gives you your stem for your first, for these 3 tenses. Now to get our perfect system, we use the third principal part, and this gives us our stem for our past perfect, our pluperfect, and our future perfect. And what are these other 2 principal parts for? This is for the infinitive, to praise, and for the imperative, which we haven't learned yet, but lauda and laudate are imperatives, praise, y'all praise, okay? And then this 4th principal part is our participle. It's going to end up giving us the adjective form, praised. God is praised. Okay, so let's do these 6 tenses. Laudo, in the past, imperfect. These are our bom, bos, bot endings. So remember I said this is the stem, loud. Now we need a vowel in between our stem and our ending. And so we look over here at our infinitive to find what vowel we're going to use. Since this is first conjugation, we're going to have an A. So lauda bom, lauda bos, lauda bot. Lauda bomus, lauda batis, laudabant. And if you notice, the accent changes slightly with the number of syllables. Laudabam, laudabas, laudabamus. So the accent's almost always in the second to last syllable. So that's the past imperfect. I was praising. Remember, it indicates an ongoing action that happened in the past. Now the present tense is our ost mus tisn't. So we use the same stem, laudo. Lau, once again we use that A, laudas, laudat. So it's ost mus tisn't. Laudatus, laudant. Okay, those are our present tense. I praise, I do praise, and I am praising. All 3 of those are translated by laudo. It's the past, the present simple, the present progressive, and the present emphatic. I do praise, I am praising, and I praise. So note, we do not use a helping verb in Latin. In English, we say, I am praising, we use that helping verb, but in Latin, we do not use a helping verb. All of those helping verbs are kind of buried in the ending, okay? So if I want to say I am praising, I just say loudly. Some of you have made the mistake of saying sum, I am praising. That's wrong. There's no helping verbs in Latin. Okay, so that's past imperfect, present, and now future. We'll use bo, bis, bit. So lauda, bo, lauda, bis, lauda, bit. Bo, bis, bit, bemus, lauda, bemus, lauda, beatus, bemus, beatus, foot, lauda, foot. Okay? So So those are 3 of our tenses, past imperfect, present, and future. Now to go to our perfect system, and I'm gonna have to erase these so we have more space. So our perfect system, we use this stem, laudav, L-A-U-D-A-V. Our past perfect has a new set of endings. It's E, isti, laudavisti, laudavit. E isti it, laudavimus, laudavistis, let me double check, I think it's erant, laudaverant. So our new endings are E, isti, it, imus, istis, erant, in the past perfect. And this indicates an action that was done in the past and is done and over with. I praised, or I have praised. Okay, both of them are translated with the past perfect. I praised and I have praised. It's something you definitely did in the past. Okay, now the pluperfect is I had praised. And we form the pluperfect with the same stem, laudav. And then we're going to just use the past imperfect of sum es est. Sumus est sunt. Sumus est sunt. So we're going to use the being verb. I guess this is most analogous to a helping verb in English. The past tense is eram, eras, erat. Eramus, eratis, erant. And the future is ero, eris, erit. Erimus, eritis, erant. So I was, you were, he, she, it was, etc. So we're just going to stick these onto our stem. Laudaveram. I had praised. That's the pluperfect. Lauda, whereas. You had praised. Lauda, whereas. He, she, it had praised. Then continue. Lauda, weramus. Lauda, weratis. And lauda, verant. Okay? And then for the future perfect, I will have praised. Same thing, we're just going to use that stem, laudal, and then stick the future being verb, laudavero, laudavera, is, laudaverit. And remember, we can remember these by the A is for was, and the I is for will. That's how you remember past versus future. Same is true of Bob Lost Bot that has the A for was, and the Bo Best Fit has the I for will. Okay? Lauda verimus, lauda veritas, and lauda verat. Okay, so that is a verb in 6 tenses in the first conjugation. Now, often you'll see active indicative at the top of your conjugation list. That just means that it's active and not passive. That's its voice. So I praise. The passive would be I am praised. So it's being done to you. But for now, we've done only active verbs. I praise. I'm the one doing the action. The indicative just means that it's not the infinitive to praise. So that is a first conjugation verb. Now we're going to do a second conjugation. So our first conjugation The infinitive had the I ending. Second conjugation is going to be long E. Yeah. And for this verb, this conjugation, we're going to use the model verb moneo. Moneo, monere, monui, monitus. Same pattern. This is going to give us our past imperfect, present, and future tense. This gives us our infinitive and imperative. This is going to give us our perfect system, and this is the participle. Okay? So whenever you memorize a verb in your vocabulary, make sure you memorize all 4 principal parts. One other thing, verbs often will have TR after them. That means transitive. It's a verb transitive. That means, all it means is it takes a direct object. Okay? So I warn. Who or what do I warn? I warn the Senate, or Julius Caesar warns the Senate. Or, I warn you not to take out student loans. Things like that. So, let's conjugate this one real quick. So we're going to get, for our past imperfect, present, and future, we're going to use this as our stem, mone. We're going to use mone. My chalk. Anyways, so for the past imperfect, we're going to use bom, bos, ba. And what vowel do we use in between the stem and the ending? We're going to use E. So mone bom, mone bos, mone bot. Mone vamos, mone batas, mone bont. Okay? I'm going to abbreviate them now. So this is the past imperfect. I was mourning. Now the present, moneo, we use the opposite, mones, monet. Monemos, monetus, monet. They warn. I warn. I do warn. I am warning. All of them in present tense. Now the future tense, we'll use bo, bis, bit. Mone bo, mone bis, mone bit. Mone bimus, mone bitus, mone bunt. Okay? Now we'll do our future, sorry, not future, our present system. Not present. Perfect. So, monui. Excuse me. So our monui is going to use this stem, monui, and then use those new endings. Monuisti, monuit. Excuse me. And then monuimus, monuistis, monuerat. Remember those endings? E, isti, it, imus, istis, erant. So these are the past perfect. I warned. I did warn. I have warned. Now, for the past, the pluperfect, remember we're just going to take that stem and then add eram, eras, eras. Monueram, monueras, monueramus, monueratis, monuarerat. Monuerat. Okay? Monueratis, monuerat. They had warned. So this is they have warned, they had warned, and they will have warned. For the future perfect. Okay, and for the future perfect, we're just going to take that stem again and add ero, monuero, monueris, ero, eris, erit, erimus, eritus, erant. So monuerant, which will be they will have warned. Okay, so that is the second conjugation. Third conjugation When we get to the third and fourth, there's one difference in the future tense, but otherwise it's the same. So third conjugation is short E, which is sometimes called a weak E. This E, since it's not long, it's not a strong vowel, it will change sometimes to an an I or a U. So our model verb for the third conjugation is mitto. I send. Mittere. Notice it's pronounced differently. Monere, you pronounce that long E. But in mittere, it's a short E, so the stress is on the first syllable, mittere. Then misi, misus. So I send, we get the word mission from it, missionary. It's a third conjugation transitive. So again, we'll get mitto. We'll get our past imperfect. Present, past imperfect. Mittevan. Mittevas. Mittevat. Etc. Vamos bates fort. So this is our past imperfect. I was sending. Our present tense, mitto, mittis, and this is where we get our weak E, since it's not a long E. This is gonna change to an I. I forget, it's called like diminutize or something. Can't remember the exact word. But it weakens. It can't hold its own, so it changes sometimes. Here it goes to a strong E, a long E, and here it's going to an I. So mitto, mittis, mittit, mittimus, mittitis, mittunt. So they send, they do send, they are sending. Present tense. Now the future, this is where it gets different. In the third and fourth conjugations, we don't use bo, bis, bit, bemis, bitis, bunt. The third and fourth conjugations have their own future endings. And they are mitam, mites, mitet. Mitemus, mitetis, mitent. Future tense for third and fourth conjugation verbs, the future tense has its own special endings. Ace, et, amus, atus, ant. Future tense only. Okay, so that is our past imperfect, present, and future. Now the perfect system, misi.